Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. Well, after continued attempts to break higher, the Australian dollar has now succumbed to the bearish sentiment and backs away from the resistance level of 68.85 and now looks down towards the level of 67.60 after taking out the support at 68.25. From the technical pattern here, the negated dragonfly was clearly from the gravestone doji posted. Therefore, the bears are nearly back into play once we get the marriage between the RSI and the MACD. I do anticipate, though, that since the market took out the level of 68.25, the bears are back in control. Let's see if we can see a further move to the downside. A very mixed price action over the last 12 to 24 hours. After the euro bottomed out around 109.35 5 days ago, the bulls have staged many attempts to the upside, but still cannot take out the level of 111.15. From the retreat overnight, the fact is we are looking back towards 110.05. Now, a break beneath there would give further scope back towards the challenge of 109.35 to 50, where I've outlined here. Earlier this morning in Sydney, the US Central Bank cut the overnight rate by 25 basis points to a range of 1.75 to 2%, which was widely expected. This is the second time in 10 years that the US Federal Reserve has lowered rates. However, the Fed was a little bit reluctant to give any further indication if we were looking for the third cut later this year. Still, Trump is still not very happy with the fact that Jerome Powell and his team have cut only by 25. And the fact is that he's come out and tweeted this morning and said that the Fed's got no guts, no sense, and no vision. Still, from a technical point, the US dollar may continue to regain somewhat and therefore could still see pressure in the euro. The market is backed away from the level of 108.40, and after the failed attempt yet again is the fact that I believe the market is looking back towards the bottom side of the range of 107.80 and lower, down to 107.45 to 106.70. Until we get a clear break of 108.40 and maybe just a little bit of a slippage to 60, then I am holding to a bearish outlook. Well, we're now at Super Thursday, as they would call it, because later today we have the announcement of the Bank of England, and then we have also the press conference to explain the decision and the outline of the Bank of England's view on inflation and economy. It is expected to see three pieces today, and on the rate decision could see a little bit of a hawkish touch, maybe. And then the minutes of the Monetary Policy Committee meeting at which why they reached the decision of not moving, which is widely expected. And also we get the inflation report. But a little bit surprisingly overnight is that we did get the August CPI, and it was down by 1.7, sharply from 2.1 from the previous month. The release will likely raise concerns at the Bank of England when it has its meeting, as it is the lowest level now since 2016. So let's see. But core CPI also missed expectations and fell by 1.9 to 1.5. The market is most probably going to see this and could see whether or not if the statement is more dovish or hawkish. But from the pattern that's holding here, it is somewhat to a triangle, and from that, if the market does try and push higher, it's got to clear 125 figure 20 to try and clear the ascending triangle and put in perspective to a target of 125.70 to 126.60.80. Gold is still a little bit weak. We've got another outside range day here that needs confirmation, of course, but the market is still poised, or should I say not poised so much, but more hesitant to take on the challenge of 1,478.84 after briefly posting a low this morning of 82. From the rejection, the market is still toying with the idea of trying to break lower, but keeping an eye on these technicals, we can still see a possible break to the upside. Unless we get a cut of 78, I'm bullish. And the market was a little bit weaker overnight after President Trump indicated that he has asked the US Secretary of Treasury to give add further substantial increases of sanctions on Iran. Trump said, "I've just instructed the Secretary of Treasury to increase sanctions on the country of Iran." And this was according to a Twitter from Trump. So let's see how it all plays out. There's still a little bit of uncertainty into what may happen with oil, due to the fact is that it broke and gapped from this significant move of 15%. But nevertheless, I'm still holding a neutral view because it's just way too volatile to trade at this present stage. Well, that wraps up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, look out for the intraday report and hope you enjoy the great start to this new day.